What's good, everybody? This is Glory Jones, and this is the Gaming with Glory podcast. This week, I have Jessika, who is into fighting games and horror games. You like shooters too, though, right?
Yeah, shooter, fighting, horror.
I know horror
zombies,
is like the number one for you. So
yeah. I came a long way because I never, when I first started, back in the day when we first had the Nintendo, just Mario, Duck Hunt. Did you have the mat where you get to run on the mat?
No, I didn't have the mat.
Okay.
I know about the mat. I wanted the mat. I wanted Rob. I wanted the Power Glove. I wanted
all that. So we used to cheat. So I had the mat. Used to run with your feet. So we used to get tired of running. So we used to sit on the floor and just use a fist on top of the colors, and then do this to jump up over the. So jump. Man, we used to be cheating with that, but then we used to cheat with the gun too. We used to go to the screen like real close up and shoot the ducks.
Yeah.
But I went from just playing that, and then I took a break for a while. Then I got the first PlayStation. Then I did Crash Bandicoot, and then when I got older, I got into horror because at first I was just doing fighting and like the little story play games,
Yeah.
Then my friend introduced me to Resident Evil and Silent Hill. And all that, and I just got hooked. I love the concepts.
Speaking of Resident Evil, the Resident Evil 2 remake.
Yes, I'm ready. I need them to hurry up. I'm ready to go. I love Resident Evil. Even the movies, I watch them all.
I can't fully agree in terms of the movies,
but
the
movies too.
Honestly, I've watched every single one of them. Like, it's like certain franchises where you're not gonna like. Well, me, I know I'm not gonna like that's why I watched Walking Dead for so long.
Right, you're hoping it gets better. Right. You're hoping for improvement.
I don't think I saw the last Resident Evil.
Yeah, it was it was a lot of tricks. Sometimes it was a little corny, a little cheesy, but it was like okay, this is keeping me entertained.
It's one of those where you have to detach yourself from the game, the thoughts of the game.
It's totally different. Right. It's totally different. Because for the longest, I'm still looking for her. I forgot her name. The main character who's on every movie.
Alice?
Yeah, she's never in the game.
Yeah, they haven't even put her in the game.
Never in the game.
You would have thought they would have at least put her in the game.
Chris in every game. He played 5 with Shiva and Chris.
Oh, yeah, I hated it. I hated the AI. Of Shiva. Just... I was like, this is horrible. Like, I don't like having this partner at all. So I didn't last all the way through 5. I don't even think I bothered with 6.
6 was cool because they broke it up in different stories. So you got to play with Leon, Ada, Chris, and Jake. So it was like 4 different storylines. But they all kind of came together. So once you beat one story, the next one came right in. And then it kept coming in with each other as well, so I thought that was pretty cool. But 7 was hot. 7 was one person though. It wasn't a co-op at all.
Are there any of the I feel so ashamed for saying this, but I really only played like the first 10 to 15 minutes of 7, and it was already creepy as hell.
Yeah.
Just like,
ooh, I was scared.
The sound design is so good in that game, and. Does it relate to any of the other ones at all in any way, like cameos or anything? Just nothing. I guess
at
it
the
would
very end there's a cameo.
Okay.
Very, very end.
Because I think Leon is like my favorite character in the entire franchise.
Very end is I don't know if I should say who it was. People who didn't play it, but there's a.
I mean, it's been out for a while, but let's no spoilers because I haven't gotten it.
But there's one. But it was really good and intense. Like literally had me scared. Like I was screaming. There was a couple of scenes I'm jumping out my seat screaming. Because I like to play at night when it's pitch black in the house. Just the TV like ready. Got a drink right here ready. And I'm just like so into it. I don't do nothing else. So every horror game I normally play like that. So that one was awesome. Resident Evil 7. What's the other one I've just played? I was telling you about Evil Within. That was awesome concept.
The first one, I feel like the first one had such good moments, but it was I don't know, I didn't like the gameplay a lot.
Yeah, it was missing some stuff in that one. The second one, I guess they took direction really well. The second one blew me away. I was so surprised at how much it improved.
And I'd never even turned that one on. I have it. I've never even
They did it. They did it. I'm telling you, it's even the concept. Like it's deep. It goes deep. Like the reason for the game and where it brings you. It's kind of like you ever saw the movie Inception?
Yeah.
Like Dream Within a Dream. It's kind of like that. I don't give the story away, but it's really.
I know there's a lot of memory and time jumping.
Yeah, it's like a whole nother subconscious world that they're living in. It's good.
I'm gonna have to give because I remember there was a big deal about it coming out, but then like there wasn't a lot after it came out, so I might because there's so many games in my backlog, it's ridiculous, and I particularly like horror games because it puts you in the shoes. Like, have you ever played Until Dawn?
No, I didn't play that.
Oh, that's right, because you're primarily Xbox. But Until Dawn is a PlayStation exclusive, and it's like a horror movie. Like y'all are in the cabin, and like there's a killer and all kinds of.
You try to get him or something.
Yeah.
See, I gotta get this. See, I had access to the PlayStation, but I haven't been playing it. Only time I really played it, like I told you, was for Last of Us. That's the only game that and God of War, but I haven't played God of War since the last one, so I need to jump on God of War too.
Wait, what was the last? 3 or Ascension?
3. I didn't even do Ascension. I did 3.
Ascension was kind of
that last fight scene. I still didn't beat it. Remember that last fight
with
scene?
Zeus?
Yeah, I never beat it.
I
felt so like he kept getting the rings on top of his head, right? And you had to keep pressing the alphabets to match the numbers.
Right.
But I always thought I had them, but it was still like more fight to go. And I'm like, what are we doing?
He can't. Yeah,
that's
there's
like 3
how many
or 4 times I gotta do
this?
this?
Fight him. Yeah.
So I played the whole game up until that last scene.
It's like you kill him, his spirit comes out. You beat him till the spirit gets back in his body, and you beat him more. And
I'll be real, I gave up. I'm like, I beat the game. I came to this far. I'm like, I saw the whole game.
It's done. We're done.
What I'm saying? So, I used to go on YouTube. When I couldn't beat a game, I would go on YouTube and get the cheat codes just so I can, like, I don't want to do this.
And just watch the end credit scene.
Yeah. Oh, remember the cheat codes back when I used to have the cheat codes for Mortal Kombat. So it used to be one button and automatically do a fatality or a babality and brutality. And the code book.
I remember the Game Genie. Remember the Game Genie? Back in the day with the
all that. I was a true gamer, okay, and we used to play for money. Like I used to go to Jane Gordon, and we used to have a camp, and we would be sitting there with the Super Nintendo playing Killer Instinct, going in, okay?
I recently found my original black cartridge for Killer Instinct.
Oh man, we used to go in. Okay, we didn't play for much, like $1, $2,
right?
But
which in elementary school,
right?
Yeah.
You get your little toot money and missing toot money and toot fairy money and gift money.
I can go buy me a can of soda and some chips.
Right. We used to sit there and really be flipping money. If you're good, you would be all right. Like, I was pretty good until, the upper class guys would come. Like, I used to beat everyone in my grade until the older guys would come and then they would wipe me out, But that's how you learn. You got to play somebody better,
That's how it was with Street Fighter 4. And some friends did, we were really enthusiastic about it. We loved it a lot. And then, this guy who, knew how to play started playing against us.
With everybody.
Destroyed us.
It's all about the block. If you use the block right, you're untouchable. Because I know I would just charge. That was always my weakness. I would charge and just go in hard, but never defend myself. So, once they get a bite, they're just going in. And I'm trying to block the combos. It's too late because they already got all the moves.
Which there's a lot of there's a lot of the way they design characters now is they have the rush down characters and they have the defensive characters and the balance and stuff like that. Like the range you're supposed to play at and stuff.
Right.
Which 4, I feel like Street Fighter 4 was a masterpiece. Street Fighter 5, not so much. I don't like Street Fighter 5 that much. I don't like how it feels.
Yeah.
I like it. I like watching tournaments and stuff.
Right.
But I don't enjoy playing it the way I enjoy playing 4.
Yeah, 4 did feel better to me. But I played, I think I would play not Mortal Kombat, Marvel vs. Capcom a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is top 3 fighting games of all time.
What you thought about the new one, the Infinity one?
I don't like it.
Yeah,
no, first off, it's ugly. It's a very ugly game.
You wasn't feeling the graphics?
They're horrible. The story mode,
story
mode
was
just so cheesy and poorly written.
I agree. The story mode was not there.
Like all those people y'all got that work for Marvel,
that was
y'all
corny,
could get a better. Y'all could have done better than this.
Tekken was bad too.
I didn't even bother with the story.
Tekken was bad.
Is that there was that 7?
Yeah,
with Akuma and
that was a bad storyline. I was like, what was happening? It's like they focusing more on just like the gameplay because the stories is hard. Like, why even put a story mode in the game? Like, that's just
we were just talking about that
fights.
Last week. The guy Seth I had on, we were talking about that because he loves Mortal Kombat and Injustice, and those games do really good stories.
Yeah,
but like
they really do.
The other ones, like the comic book tie-ins to the Injustice game, it's like it's incredible.
Yes.
Such a good series. It's like just do what you want, just make sure Superman's evil.
Right, right.
Like, oh, it's so crazy.
I like what they do with that, but like everyone else, they're not. That's not their focus. It's more of just the game itself.
The story mode on Dragon Ball FighterZ is like 10 hours.
Wow, really?
It's ridiculous, and it's really bad. Like,
it's bad.
They have this weird thing where it's like you're in Goku's body, and Goku knows you're in his body, so it's like he turns to the screen and talks to you every now and then, and they have moments where it's like some characters that had never met in the show meet, and they have interesting moments. Like the moment that's gotten the most praise is like Gotenks and Captain Ginyu having like a posing competition, like doing poses. But then there's also like a villain side to it, and it's like the same thing with Frieza. Like,
dang. That's the only name that sounds familiar. Have you played any virtual reality, like the Samsung?
I played some PlayStation VR. I did a convention. Contraflow was the name of it, and GameStop had a room, and I just went in there when I was bored when it was slow because they had a hurricane coming on one of those days, and so it just died for one night. And so just went in the GameStop room and played like 3 games. There was one horror game, I can't remember the name of it. I played Batman. And the third one was like some space game.
What you thought? Yeah, right.
Like, it's not horrible. I think the problem is having to still have a controller. Like, I think if there was some type of
gloves or something
motion thing, right, where it's like you're actually like I did really like I could turn my head and look.
It'll move too, right?
Right.
But you still got to hold a controller, and you're still doing stuff.
Right.
Or like I think they got the move sticks for it too, though. But still, I'd rather not do all of that. Like I like what they were doing with the Kinect, but it's still so much work that needs to be done.
And they abandoned it.
Yeah, remember the boxing game? Cause I was so excited about the boxing game with the Kinect. Because as soon as you punch, he'll punch too.
Right.
But it's like if you move too far over, you kind of out of range. Just like with the dance game. Like I got the Michael Jackson experience.
Yeah.
Like if you
my sisters love the Just Dance game. They don't even care about the controllers though. Like they just want to dance along.
So it's like I don't know. Maybe they're just not ready to advance that, but. I would love to. I would invest in that, Like real VR. I would invest in that, okay? Like laying in the bed, just be checked out in a whole new world, sign off to eat, come back.
There's this weird, not weird, but like there's I don't know if you remember Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
The way that VR worked in that, like they put them in like a pod and it was like 0G.
Right.
So they had full range of motion with their body and stuff. And that would be so dope.
Yes.
Or like some kind of harness that holds you up, or like they do have the thing that you put on your waist and the slippery like floor thing that you can walk in and stuff. Yeah. But that shit's so expensive.
I feel like they're in talks. Like I feel like they're in a boardroom every day, like trying to figure out how they gonna do this, how to roll this out.
Like the suit on Ready Player One was so dope.
Right. That's why I'm like, this stuff has to be. They have to be working on this. You know what I mean? Like, all these movies and stuff. Remember Minority Report? I'm like, okay, what we doing? Why we don't have this
like some of that
technology? You know what I mean? If you could think it can become, So it's like, okay, this stuff has to exist somewhere.
Well, they always say that science fiction is a precursor to science fact.
Yeah.
So,
You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, this exists somewhere. They're just not ready to roll it out to everyone else.
Yeah, they may not be complete.
Mm-hmm.
Like with the first Connect, I think it was Paranormal Activity 4, maybe 3, that actually showed how it would work. They had the infrared camera.
Yeah.
And not infrared. It was like the night vision.
Mm.
And so when the lights were off, it actually showed the Connect actually went by like a series of like dots, like kind of like how motion capture works almost.
Yeah.
Except you don't have to have a suit, but it has like a mapping system, and that's how it tracks you. The second one is more of a camera based thing, but they just haven't gotten there in a way that is cost effective.
Exactly. Well, I like with the Wii, they had good intentions as far as they started bringing it to like nursing homes and stuff for the sick people.
The Wii sold so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so now even with the headpieces, they were bringing that stuff to hospitals, like people that might be in a coma or whatever, to help them get reacclimated to hopefully wake them up sooner. So there was, they're trying to use these gaming, this technology for sick, and I like that, but I feel like that could be a form of therapy for people, depression, all kind of stuff.
It actually is.
Yeah.
I did an episode of the Hip Hop Nerd podcast on iTunes and Stitcher, and it was on violence in video games. And one of the things that they say is like gaming is very therapeutic. The only thing that even hints at a spike in aggression is like violent video games give you a slight spike in aggression, but it only lasts for like an hour or two. And it's not like I'm gonna go kill a bunch of people. It's like me and my sister might argue right after I play this game because I'm in competitive mode. But that's the same thing with like sports. It's no different from playing like football or anything competitive. But like they have like experimental like studies and stuff on people with like anxiety and like depression and stuff like that who actually get really good comfort and therapy from video games. And that's what it's all about. Like that's what they said. Like people who actually play shooting style video games, that aggression is being let out of them. They're less likely generally.
That's fine.
Slightly less likely, but less likely.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go shoot up anything. I'm gonna just sit down and chill.
Right. Like I would like to indulge in some virtual violence. Right now. I don't want to hurt any actual people.
Hit the punching bag. There's things that can be done. Works for me. I remember seeing something about how the Army was doing recruiting based on how people play Call of Duty. They wanted to see how they interact in those environments. Like if they could, how long it takes them to get shot or how they can infiltrate. Like I really don't play Call of Duty, but basically they want to see how they can capture a flag, how they can infiltrate other camps, and they want to see how their thinking skills were in those settings, and that would help them with the recruitment process.
I want to know how that turned out because it seems like it's something that would like bring like a dehumanization to targets because it's if you're so into doing both, you might not recognize that as an actual person, or you may think you have respawn capabilities, like just the lines being blurred.
Right.
Like
I'm like, we doing a lot these days with this technology.
But it's cost effective. Like it's easier than building an actual training camp.
Here's a game. Like, build a team.
Because you just gotta do that program.
See what you and your squad can do. And that's what that was. Just a program, a game to see how well they could be, in the Army, how they can think, their critical thinking skills and stuff like that. I'm like, that's interesting.
I love video games so much. But there are a couple things that I wanted to talk about. First off, the news that Telltale Games, that made The Walking Dead and Wolf Among Us and Game of Thrones and stuff, they're doing a Stranger Things game.
Oh, for real?
They just announced.
Dang.
Which has me mostly excited.
With the kids? The kids come here?
I think that's the thing that's weird to me about it is because, like, all Telltale games are, like, their own stories. Like, the Batman game, the Guardians of the Galaxy game. Like, they're all 100% their own thing. Like, even the Game of Thrones thing, it takes place in the universe, but it's just a family you've never seen before that's like indirectly involved with the conflict.
Right.
But like.
So this game, you're gonna make your own choices.
I think. Like I mean, yeah. Like if it's anything like the other ones, then yeah. But it's really interesting to like. I want to know how that's gonna go. Just because I want to see if they're going to tell a different story, if they're going to use the same characters, or because even Walking Dead, they had characters that you ran into the main characters like Herschel and Glenn and stuff.
But it wasn't about them.
I'm really curious.
Did they say when it was coming out?
They just announced that they're making it, so.
Well, then I'm down to play it.
That was something we were talking about last week too. Is that like. E3 didn't have a lot of 2018 announcements.
Yeah, all the stuff I want to play coming out next year.
I think Nintendo was the only one. Because Nintendo, they said, though, that they were... That's why they didn't do Metroid Prime and Bayonetta 3 and all that other stuff. Because they wanted to focus on this year.
Right.
Which I appreciate. Because, like, you look at shit like Cyberpunk 2077, which was announced way back when. And... that game's not coming
Still
out
not
for
out.
like another 2 years. The trailer was amazing. Don't get me wrong, but that game's not coming out for like another 2 years.
Right. Why they do that? That's good anticipation, you know.
Kingdom Hearts doesn't even come out this year. That's like February. Is it February? I think it's February. So it's like that. Yeah, that's the annoying thing about this E3. They spent so much time. Like even shit like Elder Scrolls 6 and. Even Battletoads, which was one of my most excited moments. I love Battletoads.
I haven't played that, to be honest with you.
The original was really, really hard. The one they made later was really strange. We were talking about that last week. Like, there's like, because you can grab, because you know it's a beat 'em up, like a side-scrolling beat 'em up. There's a weird thing, like you can grab an enemy and like, they like grab them by the balls and like punch them in the balls because they're like big.
Dang.
I was like, you punching him in the dick? Like, why is that? This game's so weird. Right.
Man.
But I'm kind of excited about the Stranger Things thing. And let's see.
Yeah, I'm down to play that for sure.
And we mentioned Last of Us. How you feel about Last of Us 2?
I have to play. That's the first one was amazing. Even the prequel was awesome, even though it was so short. You played that?
It was really good story-wise.
So short, though. But I cannot wait. I mean, it looks like she's grown up.
They have mentioned that it is Ellie's game. They said that she's going to be the only playable character, but I feel like that would be weird if they didn't throw Joel in there.
That's my boy. Joel gotta be in it.
But I've heard a rumor that Joel is dead. It's a theory that people like.
But you heard what they said in the trailer, though. Remember the guy was like, "Your old man talk to me again." You didn't hear him say that? The guy said that?
I don't think I even realized.
Yeah, and she was like, "Oh yeah," he was like, "Yeah," you know.
That was during the party scene.
Yeah.
See, and I think the party scene that's another thing people have like scrubbed through and found is that the bracelet her girlfriend is wearing, she's wearing the same bracelet later when she's like killing people in the forest and stuff. And so they think that like the party scene is like a flashback because they have the bracelet thing, and that's she's just wearing it because of her. But like they haven't shown Joel.
They haven't. So it's like we don't know if he's dead or it's just a surprise. Here I am.
Right.
You know, like it'll be a nice walk-in moment or something.
They're
or he just turns his
sneaky.
head and it's him, you know. Yeah. Like it might be something like that.
Even in that first trailer when the guy walks in the room and you hear Joel's voice, you assume it's Joel, but it's not confirmed. There's no way to know if it is or not. Which Joel is already like almost 50 in the first game.
Yeah, he was older then.
Because, like it takes place 20 years after his daughter dies.
So maybe, because I don't even know how much time passed. I mean, she don't look that much old, but...
But she's clearly an adult when she was like, what, like 13, 14 in the first one? So...
And it's like a whole different world, because it looked like anybody was infected. It was like,
they didn't show any infected.
Humans.
There's no infected at all in the trailer. Which
so the cure
is another interesting...
Right. So it's like, okay, because she was the cure. She was the answer. So...
Right.
I don't know. Hopefully, they kind of tell us what happened.
I love the way that game ended. Like,
they use her blood, like, because she's supposed, she's supposed to die in order to save everybody else. So she's alive. So I wonder what happened. Did they just keep taking samples of her blood, or I don't know what
they even still know, because he killed the people that were trying to get her the first time.
Right.
So it's such a good ending.
He did that.
He's not a good person, and like that's why I love that character so much. Like, he's not actually like a hero.
Right.
He's just trying to get by.
He wanted to save her. He didn't want to lose another daughter.
And I'd be like, fuck humanity too, because humanity killed his kid. So like, yeah, I really really like the character of Joel, but they are hiding their hand in a lot of stuff so far. They're not hiding as much as Death Stranding.
Right.
Which is a good segue.
Right.
What is that game about?
I don't know. All I can say is the graphics look amazing. I'd love to see Daryl and his voice. That's him. Yeah, from Walking Dead, if y'all didn't know Daryl, but
Norman Reedus.
Yes, Norman Reedus. Right, the real name, right? But I don't know. I just know it looks really good. I can't, like I said, we can't even tell us about.
Right. He's some kind of delivery guy. That much is pretty clear. The little machine thing with the light on it, clearly it shows them where the, is. Apparently, it sounds as though the more they do delivering and stuff like that, the more they can sense the creatures or whatever. Because in the trailer, the lady asked him, like, what level he's at or something like that. And he's like, I can sense him, I can't see him.
Right. But you could see the handprint, the foot, and the handprints, but that was it.
There's a lot of really weird stuff going on. Like, they've hinted that when you die, you don't start over, you just come back to life somehow. I've heard theories that the babies are clones of themselves that they keep so they can, like...
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. What's the baby about? Because they had the little baby in a pouch.
They showed the baby in someone's throat on one of them. Like,
I was like, what's that about?
I've also heard a theory that because the things that the invisible things are actually like ghosts or like angry spirits, and since they are death, the babies are new life, which kind of like camouflages them or something like that.
Nice.
But that's a theory I heard. Shout out to Who's Next Gaming, because they talked about that on that podcast.
That's it.
And like, it's
I'm playing.
Kojima's pretty brilliant, but it's like I'm starting to get annoyed. Like, dude,
what's up? Tell us.
Yeah, like
you can't find out until you buy the game.
Right.
That's pretty much what that's about.
Like, if you want to know,
or wait till it come out and watch somebody on YouTube play it.
They may give a little more info like later, but
there's probably no demos on.
Not yet. And that's the thing. Like, we're not even sure if we've really seen gameplay. It's clearly an engine, but like.
Yeah, that wasn't gameplay. That looked like a trailer almost. But no, I liked it though. I needed some more games because I played everything I wanted to play. So I'm just like, okay.
My backlog is.
I'm kind of bored with the games right now because I started playing Resident Evil 7 again just to play something else because I'm like, I already kind of played.
Did you do the DLC?
Played everything. DLC.
For Resident Evil, the extras?
Oh, no.
The birthday party and all that other stuff?
I didn't even get the extras. Maybe I should. Yeah. But I was just going to play it again because I played it right when it came out. So I don't remember all the moves because I don't like to play it right again. It's like you already remember all the cheats and stuff. So it's like I wanted to give it some time and go through it again and see how quickly I could beat it.
Fresher experience.
But I like to go a level up. So instead of playing it on normal, I'm going to playing it on hard.
Right.
But
I start a lot of games at hard, depending on the game and how it looks. Sometimes, like right now, the one game that like I just gave up on expert mode is Cuphead.
Okay, you tell me to check that game out.
It's so much fun, and I've finished everything. I got 100% with like just doing it regular, and then I found out about the pacifist mode. Like because it's mostly boss battles. But there's run and gun levels where you actually have to play through a level. There's 2 per area, so it's like 6 of them, 6 run and gun levels. And in order to unlock black and white mode, you have to play through all of the run and gun levels without firing a single shot, and it's not easy.
Wow, that's how it be. Like with hard for me, it's like they don't give you as much ammo. So when you're on normal, you may have 40 bullets by the time you're at a certain scene.
Right.
But on hard, you have 5. Like, okay, maybe these 5 bullets work.
Which is part of like I loved the first Resident Evil for that. Like it made it.
It never gave you enough ammo.
You had to make decisions.
Stealth mode needed to be your friend.
And you needed to run a lot.
Yeah. And that's what it is when it's harder. Like it's really focusing on stealth. You have to use these bullets sparingly because you're not getting a lot.
Right.
Because I remember I kept dying. I'm like, man, I need more bullets. And it's like, no, you could do this without the bullets.
Right.
You just gotta use the shiv.
Which is fair because like, it's just so much fun to like have to do that because that's like that in real life. You're not gonna just have. You're not gonna find ammo.
I'm not have 100 bullets just chilling.
You might find ammo, but it might not be for the gun you have.
Right.
Like there's so much like just interesting stuff going on in that type of dynamic from the game, and I feel like that's part of what makes 7 like so great is that it's so immersive, like just puts you now, and that's supposed to, I've heard that it's so much better in VR, and I would definitely play that.
Right.
That and Alien
There's
Isolation.
no VR for the Xbox though, huh? Is it Oculus? Is that for the PC?
Yeah, Oculus is mainly PC.
Yeah.
I think there's something that's Xbox compatible. I don't remember, but yeah, I think Xbox just wasn't jumping on that bandwagon.
Yeah.
I'm sure Microsoft can definitely do it.
Right. I gotta, because I wanted to play that.
Or is it the Vive? I think the Vive might be.
The Vive is fun.
I have to look into it.
Okay.
I don't own any VR. It's so expensive and there's so few titles.
Yeah, when I was really, I think the Oculus was crazy. It was like $1,000 for that one.
I think so, and the PSVR is like $400.
Don't care. No, because it's like you said, it's not hands off at all.
Right.
You still need the controllers, so you just basically the screen is just on your face.
Right.
You still gotta do this to play.
Which I've seen the headsets that you can like put your cell phone in and stuff like that. Like,
yeah, my mom had one of those, and I had like just for like the roller coaster. Right. You can like be on a roller coaster or whatever, or be in a haunted house. So that was cool, but not enough for me to be like, oh, I gotta get home and play this. Right. You know what I mean?
Wow, that was a fun one-time experience.
Right. That's all it was.
My life.
Right. Like, I'm not. It didn't get me excited. Like I didn't want more at all.
Did you?
Know what I mean?
Have you heard about the next gen possibly being more about streaming than anything else?
Streaming.
Like it's supposed to be more software, like streaming the games to your system than actually like upgrading hardware and all kinds of other stuff. Like they were saying that, forgot who it was, because Seth brought it up last week. So, but somebody was saying that the next generation of consoles is probably going to be the last one.
Oh, wow.
And there's an ability to play like the games on your phone and stuff like that in a more serious way. Which, when you look at Fortnite, you can play cross-platform on almost
everything. Cause I downloaded it on my phone. I still didn't.
Actually, not on the topic of Fortnite, because me and Seth were like not in agreement on this either. I feel like I keep referencing last week, but there was a controversy with PlayStation. So PlayStation, Fortnite is the most played game in the world.
Yeah.
Right? Like hands down, like nothing even close to it. PlayStation has the biggest player base for Fortnite. So what happens is you can play Fortnite cross-platform. Excuse me. You can update your accounts, move your accounts, your Epic Games account everywhere.
Yeah.
On PlayStation, if you play it on PlayStation and you got it for Switch, even when you try to use your Epic account, you can't get none of your stuff. Like it basically locks you out of Switch. PlayStation doesn't want to do cross-platform with Nintendo or Microsoft.
Dang.
But you can play cross-platform with PC, Mac, and phones and stuff, but they won't do, like, in Switch might dominate Fortnite. It's just the fact that everybody doesn't have it yet.
Yeah.
But if I can play like on a Switch with like real controls instead of my phone, hell yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Right, it's just the real controls.
Really?
You know, I had to buy the real controls because I wasn't really I didn't like the little bitty thing that separated. It was kind of hard to play like that, so I had to go buy the big controllers. But it's still good.
The only cell phone game that like. The only cell phone version of a game that I actually really enjoy is Hearthstone. Mm-hmm. But the nature of that game, it's almost meant to, because it's you use a mouse anyway when you play it on PC or Mac. So like, touchscreen is no different from that. So but I love Hearthstone. Like,
I played. I still play fighting games on my phone too, but it's different because you got to swipe up, swipe left. I don't know if you played the Mortal Kombat.
I played the Injustice one when the first Injustice came out.
I think I got Mass Effect on my phone too, so that you can play that as well.
The entire Mass Effect?
Not just the mobile version, not like the full blown Mass Effect.
I was like, good lord, what kind of phone do you have?
Shit, I remember back when I used to turn my phone. My phone used to be an emulator. I used to have Mario Brothers 3 on my phone, the whole game. Super Mario Brothers 2, the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those games are like really small though.
Yeah.
Like a few megabytes.
Remember Paperboy?
Yeah.
I used to have all those games on my phone. People were like, how you get to play that on your phone?
James, shout out to Jim Taft, plays Final Fantasy VII on his phone all the time.
Mm-hmm. It can be done. Now, I can't do that stuff with iPhone, but I was able to do it with Android. You
can. There's a lot of stuff that you can do on iPhone. It's just not the way Android is. And the way Android is made is meant for like.
It's easy. It's so easy. Like I feel like I would have to get this jailbroken and all that just to play something. That's why That's why I keep both. I keep Android around just so I could like play my games and mirror.
I don't do mobile gaming enough to even really concern myself with.
Well, now you have all these other games like Switch. Now I can take that everywhere on the go. You know what I mean? Because before I would just use my phone everywhere. Right. Of course, before I got done with the other stuff like Game Boy, we always had portable options. Right. Game Boy and all that. Then what was the other one? The Sega had one?
Game Gear.
Yeah, so you had Game Boy, Game Gear.
Yeah, the Game Gear, and then they had the Nomad, which you could play Sega Genesis games.
Right, so it's like we always had portability.
Them bitches, 8 batteries.
Yes, yes. Game Boy Color. I used to love all that stuff. And then, when the smartphones came out, kind of put that stuff to the side. I kind of just focused on mobile gaming.
The 3DS is like the only one that mattered post. Mm-hmm. Because even the PlayStation
and the PS Vita.
The PSP and the Vita died down a lot.
But I like the Switch though.
I don't think the Switch. I think the Switch being a hybrid, just like being made so well, is like I don't think the Switch is going anywhere.
Yeah, I take it on a plane, like wherever I'm at, I'm playing my games on my Switch.
But I have told myself I'm only gonna play it at home. Just because.
Oh, I'd be on the go with that. I'm like,
well, I'm gonna play it at home, or like if I'm traveling, like if I'm on a plane or somewhere that I'm sitting for a long time. But I don't like to. I don't even like taking it out of this room.
But the games, I'm just waiting for the new stuff to come out.
Right.
I'm gonna keep playing the Resident Evil, but I'm gonna wait for.
I'm still in God of War at the moment. I just need to.
But that just came out, so you're good. I know you probably want to.
I'm like the only person in the world that hasn't finished God of War that started it. I want to, because I'm gonna start streaming a lot. Mm-hmm. I think I'm gonna play that via streaming. Mm-hmm. I want to play Fortnite, but it's just like I just don't like it enough to.
What about Overwatch? You play that?
I have played some Overwatch, but when Overwatch came out, I was playing Titanfall 2, which, if you pay any attention to me at all, you know that I rant and rave about Titanfall 2 all the time. The game's crazy good, but it just was released at a really bad time. It came out, like, I think the week before Battlefield 1 came out, and like the week after Call of Duty Infinite came out, so it got looked over. But it's way better than both of those games.
Yeah.
But it just didn't have it.
You know, Call of Duty fans said I'm gonna hear that one.
Well, if they're Call of Duty fans, they know Call of Duty Infinite was probably one of the worst Call of Duty games there was.
Like I said, I don't play that. I played. I like Destiny. That was good. But like, I still haven't really. I did a little bit of Halo, but not a lot of Halo.
I liked the multiplayer in Halo 5. Like, there was the breakout mode where it's like a 4-player team. There's single elimination. So, like, you get killed once you're out for that round. So, either you had to kill everybody on your enemy team or you had to capture the flag and bring it back to yours. Remember, James and I were playing, and him and our other 2 teammates were dead, but I had snuck off and grabbed the flag.
Nice.
So, like, it was literally their entire team and me, and I was like, hey,
you did that.
Watch this. And it was like, victory.
You done snuck off and even know where you was. It's like capture the flag, huh?
It's such a good mode, because it's so fast-paced.
Yeah, it's just like the other game I tried to play, but it's like online only. I think it was called Metro Redux or something like that. Metro?
There's a series. There's Metro, but I don't know which one.
Yeah, I think it was called Metro Redux.
I know there's Metro 2033 and there's Metro.
I had bought it by mistake. I thought it was
Last Light. Metro Last Light.
Yeah, I don't know which one it was. I thought it was for everybody. I thought it could be like a co-op game, right? So I had bought it and I tried to play, and I'm like, wait. So it was waiting for more people to come. I'm like, oh, this is one of those games like you have to play in a group.
That's how. Well, kind of like that. The first Titanfall was multiplayer only, and that's why it got looked over. So
yeah, I'm more of a. I just want to do my own thing, and if I want a friend to come over and play with me, then we can play. But it's like nowadays, it's so hard to find an offline.
Squad base was so hot for so long.
It's so hard to find an offline co-op now because like everything has to be online. Like it's like literally we'd have to have 2 systems and be in the same house and find each other to play with each other.
James and I have definitely done that with
like this is crazy. We can't even play a game together. Like we have to go way back to Resident Evil 5 and 6. Just the only game recently that came out that was co-op that I found was Gears of War 5. Because I look for games that
there's a split screen.
Yeah, and I was there is.
Well, 4.
The 5, 4, whatever the newest one was.
Yeah.
So I bought it just for that. I have people come over and we just want to play a shooting game together.
Right.
And I'm tired of having to go back in the archives and play Resident Evil 5 and 6 just to get a split screen action. You know what I mean? So
which I think Dead Space 3 has split screen too.
Yeah.
I think.
They're not doing it anymore. It's like now they're focusing online.
Because Halo 4 did it that way, where like it had to be online. But they came out. 343 Studios actually came out and announced that they're never doing that again. It's that because that's how Halo was built on couch multiplayer.
That's what we need. We need more of that. Like they're going back to
new Halo.
I hope so, because they're going back
Halo
to
5 was the
online games. They just keep going back to that. Like people don't come together anymore. Everybody's just home alone playing somebody in another country.
Right.
No, people still want to have fun together in the same room.
Why I love Mario Kart. You can do split screen.
Yeah.
I know we have no information, but what do you think about the new Halo?
I do not know. That's the thing. I have not seen any trailers. You saw a trailer or something?
They had a small teaser where they had some guys in a Warthog, and they had it looks like the first Ring Planet, like from the first game. They just, and at the end they show like Master Chief's old helmet. Yeah. And like he puts in like what looks like an AI in it, but that's like where it ends. It doesn't show a lot at all. But and there's a Dave & Buster's Halo game that they're doing, like an arcade machine where you hold like.
Oh man, I'm how that's gonna be. I remember when I had went just for that Walking Dead game. It was so expensive to play, and you die so fast. I'm like, man, it's crazy. I
like playing the Mario Kart machine, but I'm a Mario Kart fanatic anyway. Like, I really, really love Mario Kart. You do. So like I wish there were more Mario Kart tournaments.
I never played. I never did the racing thing too much. Like, I'll do the racing at the arcade, like we just posted in our little cars, whatever. But like I said, when I'm home, I'm really just focusing on the shooters, the horror, fighting.
I like story a lot. Mario Kart which a lot of Nintendo games are all about gameplay, which I love. Like Mario Odyssey, I think is like a masterpiece.
It's beautiful.
Breath of the Wild is certainly Breath of the Wild instantly became one of my top 5 games of all time.
Yeah.
But I played Project Gotham Racing for a little while. I played a little bit of Forza, but I'm not big on driving. Like racing games is pretty much only Mario Kart that I like, but it's so unique. Now that being said, they have a Sonic racing game coming out, a Star Fox racing game coming out, and I've heard rumors about Crash Bandicoot, Crash Team Racing.
I want to do the Crash.
But
what's up with the tournaments? You still watching the tournaments?
Not as often as I used to.
Like, how do you get in? Like, I'm trying to win some tournaments. I know it's probably hard though. Them boys probably training for years.
When it comes to like Injustice and Mortal Kombat, Sonic Fox just like dominates. Like, it's ridiculous.
So the prize be like $25,000 or something.
It depends, but like some of those dudes, like the Street Fighter ones, like Street Fighter 5, I think the Capcom Pro Tour, I think first place was like $250,000.
Just off a game. Wow. You gotta be good though. You gotta beat all those guys.
Yeah, you have to be like insanely. That's all they don't really do anything else. Like, they play video games and eat, and like that's their life. And
it's like, is it even fun anymore for them if it's so tactical?
I think it goes from being fun to not being fun to being fun again.
Yeah.
Like, just because once you get to people that are actually like on that skill level, it actually probably becomes competitive and fun. But like StarCraft in South Korea, StarCraft is basically South Korea's like national sport, and to maintain sponsorship in StarCraft, you have to play for 10 hours a day, minimum.
That's too much.
I can't play video games that much. Like,
that's too long.
And I love. Well, I probably can play video games that much, but not the same game. I'm gonna want to switch it up. Like, I'm playing God of War 4 primarily right now, but I'm also replaying Castlevania Symphony of the Night and Far Cry Blood Dragon.
Oh yeah, Far Cry. It's good. I like Far Cry.
It's a really good series.
Man, there's so many games out there. So many games. Sometimes it's overwhelming because there's so many, like, you want to play at once, but I don't like to tie in the storylines, and then I forget which buttons mean what, because you got so many games, and sometimes the shoot could be on this side, or it could be the top button, not the trigger button, so you get stuck. There's so many.
When I went back to Destiny after playing Titanfall so much, like, it felt completely foreign.
Right.
It was so
Especially
weird.
if you're playing multiple systems. Like, you bouncing from Xbox to PS4. You're like, wait, what? But wait, what? Where the X at? But it's not.
The first game I actually purchased for, like, on disc for PS4 was Killzone. What was it called? Killzone?
Yeah, that's what that came out first, huh?
Yeah, it was
that was the bundle, right?
It was weird because it was like when the PS4 and Xbox One were released, everything was a first-person shooter.
Yep. It can.
But I feel like that's because that's the best way to display tech.
Yeah.
Now, a shooter that's interesting, it's kind of old. It's like PC only. It's called Screen Cheat. It's
I don't know the PC game.
Well, it's unique in the sense that because you know how, like, you would in the back in the day you'd play like split screen Halo and you get pissed at people watching the screen.
Yeah. In
this game, everyone's invisible, so you have to look at their screen to find it.
Dang. Wow.
So I played a little bit of that, and it actually is very fun, but the novelty of it wears off, but because it's not a great game otherwise, but that one feature is pretty interesting.
Oh, you told me about Soul Calibur. That's coming out?
I think, yeah, there's not a lot about it, but there's...
That was my game. I used to love playing with Khalik. Kalik and Maxie, that was my two favorites.
Kalik had the staff, and Maxie was nunchucks.
Yeah, okay. That was my boys right there. If they would have came out with, 2-player at a time, that would have been my team right there.
Which they could at this point. I feel like everyone else has done it. Like,
yeah, because you had Tekken Tag.
And Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
Right.
The Marvel ones, the Dragon Ball game is like that. There's a Blaze Blue is doing it. Yeah. Which the Blaze Blue Cross Tag battle looks so good.
It look good.
And I mean, it's out, but like I just haven't had the time. And
they should have been with that one.
Yeah, it's. Do you play Smash?
No, not Smash Brothers.
It is a very, very different from other fighting games. I will like.
There's so much going on. It's bouncing all over the place.
And even the way you beat people is so different from. Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, man, I'll come over. You haven't?
Yeah, I have though.
One day we'll come over and you show me some games I don't play. Maybe you can turn me into convert me over.
I'm not even really good at Smash, but I just really like the game.
You probably still beat me.
The new one, when the new one comes out, because the new one, the announcement is that everyone who's ever been in a Smash game before is going to be on it. So it's like Sonic, Pac-Man, Solid Snake, like everybody.
Wow. Kind of like Wreck-It-Ralph, huh? Everybody just on there. You saw the trailer for the new one?
I did. Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Yeah. I'm going to go see that. I was like, look at this.
I haven't had a chance to see Incredibles 2 yet. I'm backed up on the movies. Incredibles 2 and Jurassic World.
Yeah, I just saw Jurassic World like 2 days ago. We went to the theater.
What did you think?
I liked it. I thought it was really good. I enjoyed it.
I think I'm going to give it a shot.
Yeah. I love this beautiful nature. Man, there's so many shows out. In Westworld, I don't know if you even was into Westworld.
I like Westworld.
You caught up on Westworld?
I think I'm one episode behind.
Ooh, it's again
a game that I actually had written down and I had forgotten that I wanted to mention to you. Doom, the new Doom that's coming out.
You saw the trailer?
Yeah.
Dang, I should have watched it. I didn't see the trailer for it. I mean, I know the last one was awesome. Doom Eternal.
It's so fast paced and brutal.
Yeah.
That
that's gonna be my game.
Because it's not scary at all. Like Doom, I think Doom 3 was the only one that was actually scary.
That's one I loved. So you don't think the new one not gonna be like that?
Nah, it's. I think it's gonna be just like the one that came out, just like super brutal and fast paced, which is good.
Yeah.
But.
Okay. I got a couple games I'm gonna be waiting for.
I think the only game that has ever like legitimately messed with me was when Slender the 8 Pages came out.
Oh yeah.
And it was free. Five Nights at Freddy's. I think by the time that came out, I was immune to jump scares.
Right.
Like, just like
I'm telling you gotta play that Alien. That was jump scares all day. And it's Resident Evil 7.
And there's a lot of suspense in Alien too, like being looked for.
Yes, that was scary. I was really scared. Like my heart was. I haven't played a game like that in so long. Where your heart racing the whole time. And then, oh man, I can't even want to say what was going on, but you gotta play that if you have some time. Play Aliens for real.
Alien Isolation.
Yeah, Alien Isolation. That had me, okay? I'm telling you, like, I had to put the controller down and get some water, like, take some breaths. I thought I was having anxiety attacks, because I was like, oh, like, I was jumping left and right.
Like, even at stuff that wasn't even...
And then, like, the robots, they look so scary, because, like, white face, but it's like, once they see you, it's like you have to... It's a lot of espionage, and you have to really be stealth most of the game. So, like, the one sound can trigger so many things. Because you got the robots looking after you, you got the guards looking after you, you got the people that's against you, you got the alien. So, there's so many people looking for you, and you can't really trust anybody. So, it's deep. Because it's like you're just trying to hide, find a way to go. You're just trying to get out of there. And all you have is a scanner to help scan your way out. But sometimes they might catch you before you can scan them. And it's crazy.
So it's definitely on the list. It was already on the list. But hearing you talk about it makes it more. So I'm gonna.
You have me holding my breath, like I was hiding. You know, my character's hiding in the locker, and while I'm hiding, I'm holding my breath. You know, because I'm literally in the game. Like, oh, I don't want him to hear me, so I'm like holding my breath, forgetting to hold the breath on the controller. Because there's an option to hold your breath on the controller, so they can't hear you breathe when they walk past.
Is there like a meter or something to indicate how long you can?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because if they hear you breathe too loud, they'll bust and grab you and kill you. You know, so it's like you gotta hold your breath and kind of gauge when they left. When they left, you heard them take another breath, and if they turn around and come back to you, you gotta hold your breath again. And it's like, man, this is getting deep, you know. And they only have a small window to get out and move to the next room. Right. That's bad.
So gaming assignments.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play Alien Isolation. Mm-hmm. I want you to play Until Dawn.
Okay, I can do Until Dawn. It's on Xbox.
It's PlayStation. We'll work that out.
Okay, no, I have access to PlayStation.
I say we'll work it out. But let me
put that in Until Dawn.
Actually, it's right. It's right. It's on the shelf back there. Oh. You can borrow it.
Oh, cool.
But yeah. So we're running on time. We're a little over. So we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Yeah. This has been Gaming with Glory, weekly podcast and YouTube show. Check out the YouTube channel, also called Gaming with Glory. It has the logo is the dog tag. I've seen other channels that have my same name, but you'll see mine. Gaming podcast once a week. Streaming archives are also going to be posted on there once I start streaming this week. And we put up extras from these talks and these podcasts. Anything that doesn't make the final cut, it's gonna be thrown up there. You're gonna see it anyway, posting up every day. So just tune into that, and we'll get back to you. Twitter handles at the bottom of the screen, and gamer tags in the description. Yep. So we're gonna see Jessica another time.
Yes, y'all.
This has been fun.
Take care.